We've had a delivery today. Perfect. Let's get these open. I'm kind of hoping that these are going to be the valves from Watford Valves. Let's have a quick look. If these are the valves, which I'm sure they are, we can get up to Norman's place tomorrow and these are well wrapped up, aren't they? I tell you what, Watford Valves, if this is how you normally send stuff out, it's been wrapped 3 times to protect these vulnerable items, which is a really good thing. So there we go, 2 EL84 electro-harmonic valves, which will go in the amp. Now I've got another package and I don't know what it is, but I have a sneaky suspicion that the wind's picking up, it's going to blow all over the place. I have a feeling this is from Dave Green, and I'm not sure, to be honest, but I have a feeling it might just be what we want for the front of the amp, which is missing. I can't get my hand in it, which is, yes, and it is perfect. So we get the amp working, get this on the front of the amp, and everyone's a winner. Brilliant. Good morning, Noam. How are you?
Morning, Kev.
We're on part 2. I have presents.
Got some parts, eh?
I have gifts from the postman for the amp build, so yeah, perfect. Here we go.
Excellent.
There you go.
So look.
Wrap those.
There we go.
So.
And we have, oh, that's a lovely brass
Well,
badge, isn't it? For the
that is very nice. Yeah. So that finished off the amp very, very nicely.
Yeah. Lovely, and most importantly, a matched pair of EL84s.
Perfect.
Okay.
Excellent.
Right, so let's see how we go with this then.
Yeah, so these are a matched pair of electro-harmonics valves. If you're in the States, they're called tubes, and a little bit of a delay in getting them, but I think it's worth the wait, and we'll see what happens next, I think.
Okay. Right. We've just reconnected that up to the A20 load.
Yeah.
A20 speaker, and we'll give it some mains.
So, just to recap, no, we identified that it wasn't a matched pair of valves. One of the valves was blown, and how we sort of finished it off was ordering a matched pair, which is what we've got. But we also mentioned there's a bit of a crackle going on in the background of the amp as well, which is something we might need to look at, I think. But yeah. Am I right in thinking we're just going to basically see what happens now with the new valves and then take it from there?
Yeah, we couldn't go any further until we replaced the output pair because we had no idea the condition of the remaining decent valve. So
yeah.
It was a little bit of a bogus check just to see if it would work with one of the output valves in. So what we'll do now is we'll power it up. We'll have a listen to see what's what, make sure everything looks okay, that there's no smoke or odd smells coming from the power supply, and then we'll give it an input and we'll see if it performs, and if there are any crackles or other problems that we've yet to discover, we'll tackle those as we come to them.
Oh, sounds good, sounds good.
Okay. Well, that sounds awfully quiet and quite promising. So, have you got a guitar that we might feed into this?
I have today brought a Gibson guitar, Norman. I brought a Les Paul. It's the Custom Shop Junior, so I'll go and get it out and see what happens.
Just one you had hanging around.
That's it, absolutely.
Okay.
Excellent.
I'm quite sure the quality is, but
yeah.
let's just make sure everything's turned. This doesn't turn down.
Well, I'm turned down at the minute on my guitar.
Okay, give that a little go then.
be one episode this now. So,
Wow.
freaking hell.
How quiet that is.
Yeah. Oh,
Just
right.
a touch of hum, but that's probably from your guitar than anything else.
Possibly, yes, on single coils this, so yeah.
So not quite understanding what happens there. Oh, this is the clean channel. This is clean.
Got it. Guys, if you can hear this, I can't play guitar and operate an iPhone at the same time, so we're relying on other cameras and things at the minute, but I'm here. I tell you what, that sounded nice, that.
It does sound nice, yes.
Ooh.
Everything's set down the middle there.
Yeah.
So then if you select dirty channel 1 and 2, gain 1 and 2. All very promising, that.
Friggin'.
Very promising.
Right, so
Sounds in good order. What do you think, Kev?
I think that sounds beautiful. Through a nice sort of 212 cap with Celestines in it, so I think that sounds great. That's it. I think that sounds bloody brilliant. I like it.
Well, that's just on the clean channel, and you've got 2 gain channels,
Yeah.
and you can use those in any combination, which is quite interesting, isn't it?
I'll tell you what, this guitar sounds great through that. I love this guitar to be brilliant. Loving it, just loving it. No, you're a star. That's a freaking great sound, that. So,
It's great, that, isn't it? It's in very good nick. I mean, there's you know, with everything, no inputs, everything just sat there percolating, gains down at 0. The background hiss is very low. The background noise is very low.
Yeah.
No
yeah.
crackles, no microphony, no nothing.
Yeah.
So yeah, in very good condition. So I was just going to check, just for my own interest really, what the HT's running at now.
Okay,
And this
so
from the-
I'll just come round the other side.
from the power supply.
Okay, so let's have a quick
Yeah.
round here. So
And we're just gonna see what we're at.
yeah, so I'll just
200, just short of 290 volts. So that's
Yeah.
quite good. That's quite good. Yeah. And on the anodes of the output valves, 357. That's very good. That's very good.
Yeah.
Yeah. You'd expect probably getting on for 100 volts higher than that on EL34s. But
Yeah.
these are just the small B9A EL84s.
Yeah.
You used to find these sort of valves in tape recorders and record players and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I have to say, that sounds a rather healthy 20 watts, doesn't it?
I'm so far. Well, we've just plugged in the, as you've said, the Gibson Les Paul, which is running P90 single coil pickup on it. To be honest, if there's going to be any noise, any hum and stuff, we would have heard it, wouldn't we? Really?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I'm well impressed.
You've talked to the guy who designed this, haven't you?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, he knows his craft.
Well, I'll tell you what, Dave. If you're watching this, mate, it sounds absolutely frigging brilliant. It really does. So yeah, I only hope it comes out well in the video, to be honest, because where I'm stood at the minute, just through that basic cab over there, it sounds great. It does sound good. So yeah. So the next stage, Norm, is to box it back up. Yeah.
Box it back up. Just clean it up a little bit more. There's a bit of the dust. There's probably 15 years of dust on it.
Yeah.
Clean that up. Stick it back in the cabinet. Attach that wonderful new badge on the front.
Perfect.
And then we're cooking on gas.
Excellent. Excellent.
Yeah. One last thing. Certainly before we put the thing back in its case, is while we've got access to everything, it's just to check that all the controls are quiet. So the amplifier's switched on at the moment.
I think that was my knees going then, no?
Volumes are up. There's an awful lot of gain on there, so don't worry about that bit.
Yeah.
These pots are in very good condition. There's the tiny squeak on gain 2 there.
Yeah.
But nothing to worry about there. I think we're happy with that, don't you?
Oh, brilliant. Yeah. That
Was
sounds
that
good. Yeah.
Yeah, excellent. Okay. Right, quick clean up. Back in its case then.
Perfect.
Okay. All right. Some of these pots at this end, just a tiny little bit noisy. An old engineer's trick from way back in my TV repair days was to just put a tiny little bit of oil on the track, and I emphasise a tiny little bit. So
Yeah.
all I'm going to do here is this control here was a tiny little bit noisy.
Oh,
So I'm just gonna very, very carefully, just put a tiny bit
bit in that. Yeah.
in there, and it is a tiny bit because you don't want it spewing all over the board. Just get rid of the any excess so it doesn't cause muck to stick to it and become a mess. Just plug it in. Wait for it to warm up, and let's see what we got.
I can see the blue lights on, no, which is always good.
It is good, yeah. As long as they're not flashing.
Yeah. I like blue.
No, that's a lot better. Yeah. Just a tiny little bit left, but it's a lot better than it was.
Yeah.
Good. Okay.
Perfect.
So we're just going to give it a little hoover through, just to get rid of a little bit of surface dust there. And
Yeah.
it's back in the cabinet, and we're done.
Oh, perfect. Perfect.
Yeah.
So what we're doing there, no? We've got.
And just where the laminations of the transformer, of the mains transformer, the output transformer, just where they're rusting, I just put a very, very thin film of WD-40
Yeah.
onto that, and just rubbing it into the edges of the laminations to stop it rusting any further. Probably doesn't do any good, but it looks good.
Make me sleep at night, no, knowing
Yeah.
that. In a good way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It certainly looks. It looks nice when you.
It does, doesn't it? Yeah, it
gets
does.
rid of those rust stains on it.
Yeah, I'll just come a little bit closer with this and we can let's have a look. Yeah, see what you mean there.
And the thinner you go with the WD-40, the less stink you'll have at your first gig when it gets hot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lovely piece of kit, this. Absolutely lovely. Do we know the history of it? Kev, do we know where it's been stood for the last decade or more?
Well, the history of the amplifier is it was used at the rehearsal rooms in Blackpool, which is called the Unit, which is where we rehearse now. And
Right.
if you remember one night, we're all busily trying to leave, and the owners of the rehearsal room said, "Look, Kev, we've got this amp. It doesn't work. Do you want it?" I didn't really pay much attention to it, to be honest, because I was loading my car up. And I said, "Yeah, I'll have it." I didn't. It was dusty, it was dirty, it was just, and there's no logo on the front, so I thought, I don't even know what it is. I naturally assumed, wrongly, that it might just be a budget head. I didn't even know it was going to be a valve head, so it might have been transistor or something. Anyway, so I got the amp home, did a little bit of research the next day, realised what it was, but there's not too much information around on the internet about these things. And so that resulted in me writing to Ashdown Engineering, who basically designed this as their guitar brand, if you will. And that's how David Green ended up ringing me that afternoon and saying, "Look, Kev, it's possibly one of 25 made. Does it have the stealth switch on the back?" And I said, "Yes, it has." So David confirmed to me it is one of 25. And for me at that point, I thought, I'm glad I picked this amp up rather than it ended up in a skip, to be honest. And just with your knowledge and an understanding of these things, by the sounds of it, we've got a great amp that's been it's been rebirthed into the world of electric guitar again, so which I think is a great thing. Plus, it's a UK made amp as well. And for me, the UK amp industry was for me definitely in the birth of rock. Was pioneering that guitar tone that we all love, and that's what it's all about. And from what I've heard of it so far, it sounds great.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a lovely piece of kit.
So for me personally, I think we've done a good job in getting this amp back up and running. And I hope you guys that are watching this have found this useful. I know it's been a very deep dive, guys, into the world of amplifiers and stuff, and it would appear to be like a quick fix solution we found. But that's the whole purpose of this video, is to troubleshoot. We didn't know what to expect, and we've got there in the end with just 2 valves and a bit of a clean-up. But
very lucky.
Yeah, that's it.
Very
If
lucky.
it was going to be transformers, what would we be looking at then, do you think?
Well, first of all, if you can't get the exact transformer, then you're looking for a compromise fit, because the output transformer is a major contributor to the overall quality of the amplifier.
Right.
Without a doubt. So really, getting the right transformer for the model would be the perfect solution.
Yes.
Mains transformer, not so much of a challenge. That's
Yeah.
just a case of matching the rating and the voltages.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
output transformer, you can't just go and buy an output transformer that will do EL84s into 8 or 16 ohms. It's a bit more involved than that.
Right.
So we've been very lucky that these are in good nick.
Yeah.
Very lucky that there's no noise or crackles from the amplifier.
Yes.
All the control potentiometers seem in good condition. Yeah, excellent.
Perfect. Perfect.
Voila.
Voila, let's have a look. Let's have a look. Oh, no. Oh, that is looking great. That's just going to finish it off nicely, is that? Oh,
Yes.
superb. It'd be very interesting to see how it sounds or compares to me Laney rigs I've got. And,
Indeed.
yeah, just to see what it sounds like. Oh, it's a nice thing. I thought, when I was cleaning this amp up, Norm, these corners on the edge, screws a little bit grotting. I took all these off,
Yeah.
took the handle off, cleaned up all the vinyl, got rid of all the grubbiness. There's a bit of powder coat or a bit of paint coming off one or two of these, which I put underneath at the bottom. And I was thinking, should I go to the extent of replacing the corners with new ones and new screws, or should I just leave it as it is, a bit patina of its history, its life,
A bit patina, I think, because...
Yeah.
Final test then.
Final test, no?
Final test, just make sure everything's right before I kick you out.
Yeah, okay, up.
That was the one that was totally goosed, and you can see the difference in that the chemical that they use at the top of the valve, that is to, along with that circular ring that you might just be able to see there, that's called a getter, and that its job is to trap any loose molecules of air that there might still be in the envelope and get rid of them.
Yeah.
When that's all gone and you've got that white shading at the top, that means that that's got air in it.
Right.
A valve with air in it ain't going to work. So the other thing of note was that they weren't a matched pair anyway.
Yeah.
Of course, the amplifier will work, as we proved. We could get it to work with just one valve in it.
Yeah.
But match pair is better. You'll obviously get the best sound from the amplifier with a matched pair,
Yeah.
which we've now fitted. So that was it really, just Duff output valves. You should have. Let's go into the solid gain one contour then.
It's like a master tone, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just put these to the middle. So you're happy with that?
Absolutely. That sounds really nice.
It's a good looking head too, isn't it?
It is beautiful, isn't it? So we got there in the end. It was very simply a blown output EL84 valve, which was quite a simple fix really, but that wasn't the point of the video. The point of the video was very simply this: it was a broken defective amplifier head made by Ashdown Engineering under their sub-brand, which was called Hayden back in the day. But it could have been easily worse. It could have been a blown output transformer, as Norm mentioned, which would have been an absolute headache to sort out. Huge thanks to Norm. Norm, you've been an absolute star. It's been really educational. I've learned a lot about this Class A amplifier head and what makes it tick. And I hope that our viewers share the same feelings and thoughts about it as well. Huge shout out and thanks to Dave Green from Ashdown Engineering. Dave, you're an absolute star. The telephone advice was brilliant. I've learnt a lot. You sent out a wiring diagram, which helped us immensely. And thirdly, you sent out the logo for the amplifier head, which finishes off the amplifier really, really nicely too. So huge thank you to Norman and Dave. And also, you, the viewers, I hope you found this inspirational. It just goes to show this amplifier head could have ended up in the bin, but it's been saved. And my intentions now for this amplifier is to use it. It will be gigged, and there's going to be other projects with this as well. You will see it on the channel. And if anybody's out there has a 2B12 Hayden UK made cab, I might be interested, so drop me a line. Anyway, so I hope you've enjoyed this edition of Gigs and Guitars. If you're new to the channel, thank you for visiting. Please consider subscribing. In fact, I'd love you to subscribe. I really want to get to about 1,000 subscribers before the end of the year, if that is possible. So hit that like button, subscribe, and all the rest of it. And there's time in the day for the brew, as always. Cracking.